There's always a phase of mural painting where it's just like the most hideous, ugly, awful thing you've ever seen in your life. I just don't think it's ever gonna get better. You want that like satisfaction of like seeing it completed, and there's just a whole lot of stuff that comes in between. And the more time you take to do it right, the better the final result is.
So excited for this mural.
Me too.
Gorgeous already.
Oh, thanks. I did a lot of art in my youth as a way to negate some of the other things I struggled with, as far as like being extremely introverted, low self-esteem, and those kinds of things. And so I felt like art was a way for me to facilitate relationships with my peers. I started drawing my friends on the school bus, and they'd actually looked like them. So that's my first memory of thinking like, oh, this is a thing that I could keep doing.
Art for Jessica is a walking, talking, breathing event. To the way she dresses, to what she does for a living, to the moment before she goes to bed. There is art just constantly flowing, and it happens. I don't know.
This is one of my 2 closet spaces, the one that is predominantly accessories, shoes, belts, and a little bit of clothes. 15 years of working at Tucson thrift shop, first of all. This is my pins, buttons, brooches collection. Towards the end of high school and then after is when I started going to raves. And rave culture kind of just opened my eyes to like what it means to just absolutely go crazy with your clothes and just like be loud. I realized that it was a way for me to say to the world that I am a creative person without having to say anything. And for me, that was really valuable. The nice thing about working on large surfaces is there's like more area to cover. So there's these opportunities to kind of just get into a groove and get into a zone. When I'm actually there with the paint, like in my actual element, doing the part of it that I love the most, that's when I'm the happiest. I really didn't start painting much until I went to the U of A. I got a BFA in 2D art with a focus in painting. I always sort of thought that art would be my side gig. In 2016, for the City of Tucson Mural Arts program, they put out a call to artists on the news. I didn't really think I'd get it, to be honest. I ended up getting selected. This is the first thing I've ever done this big. The best way to learn something is to just throw yourself into it, so that's pretty much exactly what happened. Once I kind of like got out there and people sort of like recognized my work, it was kind of this like grounding thing for me that like this is a community that I love and I've been here a long time, and now I'm like establishing myself as a creative. So I started painting the Rialto murals in January of 2019. It's basically a wall of murals that rotate every 3 to 4 weeks. I learned a lot about designing quickly and coming up with designs that I could get up on the wall quickly. 2019 was an insane year for me. I'm sure that a decent amount of that has to do with the exposure on that corner. By the end of the year, I was totally swamped. For me, it's just trusting in my design. Like, I absolutely have to look at this thing that I spent hours and hours planning and then put that on the wall. I've made the mistake of trying to make adjustments as I'm going, and then I step away and I'm like, no, that's horrible. Why did I do that? I clearly designed it well the first time. So it's trusting in the original design and taking all those little like tedious baby steps to get there. My mural work in particular, I would say it's very colorful. There tends to be a blend of realism and graphic design.
There's very graphic elements, and then there's also very painterly elements.
The goal of it is to be very uplifting, something that the community can take something positive away from. When COVID started, I was pretty convinced that my mural career was over. Jobs started to trickle in at first, and then I got the job painting the Together mural on the side of the playground downtown. I think it was kind of like this way to escape all the negative things going on. It's an outdoor gallery, basically, all this like mural art everywhere. Dakin's been helping me on murals since the very beginning. He has experience with house painting, and he's also a creative person.
To me, it's communication and communication and communication, and to know what her designs are and to bring them to fruition on a grand scale. It's, you know, it's like, yeah.
I'm very lucky to have the kind of help that I do and that we get to be partners also. I love that I get to do what I love doing. That's my biggest takeaway from it. You know, recognition is still something that's kind of weird, you know.